Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is the first official video in my decluttering minimalism journey series that I am sharing with you guys here on my channel. This is like official day one of starting to go through my house and to really try and declutter from top to bottom in every drawer and just really begin this process of creating my home to be a more minimal place. If you are new to my channel, I have just recently committed to this goal for this year to try and be more intentional, to live in a more simple manner, to live with less, and to really put my focus onto what matters most in my life and just to create a simplified version of my life. I really want to simplify every aspect of my life and find value, find joy in living with less. So that is what I am starting with here today. Over the past week, I have been going through every room in my house and doing an initial declutter. And I learned a few things from doing this that I'm going to switch and change moving forward with my decluttering process. And I'm going to share all of that with you guys today. And I'll share a couple of the things that I wish I had done later on in the video. So be sure to keep watching. I've decided to start first with the more physical aspect of my minimalism journey. So I want to become more minimalistic in a lot of different aspects of my life, not just like the material things that I own and what my house looks like, but also in my routines, in my mind and my agenda and how I schedule my days and things like that. But I've decided to first focus on my physical surroundings because for me, I am very impacted by my physical surroundings and kind of like my environment around me affects my mood. And so I really want to start in creating a cozy and calm atmosphere in my home. So to start off, I just wanted to do a really like quick walkthrough of my entire house. And so I went through room by room, and in those rooms I really broke it down into every single nook and cranny. So I was opening drawers and closets and cupboards and Tupperware that maybe I had tucked up in the closet, and I was really making sure to go through everything in each room. And I basically took out anything that was either going to be donated, thrown away in the trash, sold online, or just given away to a friend. Now doing this, I got a little bit overwhelmed and I realized there's a lot of stuff just in each room, and trying to do my entire house at once was really overwhelming, and I lost a lot of the joy in it, and I just found myself getting stressed, which is not the whole point of this. The entire point of moving to a more minimalistic lifestyle is to reduce stress in my life. So I will not be doing that again, and I would actually recommend taking it room by room and moving slowly. So that's what I'm going to do moving forward, is I'm going to go back to each room and do a more deep declutter. But this time I just did a quick walkthrough, and if I looked at something and I had to think about it more than like 5 seconds if I wanted to keep it, I just kept it. I really didn't put a ton of thought into like, well, do I really need this? Like, if I had to kind of go back and forth and talk myself into it or talk myself out of it, I just decided to keep it. And then I would go back later and revisit that item and really ask myself, do I need this? Do I use it? Does it bring me joy? Does it fulfill a part of my life? Things like that. But this first time, I literally just went through and I'd pick things up and be like, do I need this? No, I don't want that. Oh, I've been meaning to declutter that. And what this helped me do is get rid of so much excess stuff that I had been meaning to get rid of. Old clothes I'd been meaning to take to the thrift store. So much garbage. I just found garbage and little pieces of trash everywhere that I was like, why do I have this empty box or this empty bottle? So doing a quick walkthrough can be really helpful in that it can just get rid of a lot of the kind of surface level garbage stuff that maybe you've been meaning to take to your local thrift store, or that you've been meaning to gift to a friend or something like that. And so it can help. But now I'm going to go back into each room and move a bit slower and really like ask myself, do I need this item? You know, do I need to keep this? And get a bit deeper in my minimalism journey. So one thing that really helps me is having these different categories. So I would recommend grabbing yourself a couple boxes, baskets, bags, whatever you have lying around. It doesn't need to be complicated, doesn't need to look perfect. Whatever you have in your home will be fine. And create some piles. I like to create a pile for things that are going to be donated either to a local thrift store, or maybe I'm going to just give something away to a friend who is in need of it. I like to create a pile for things that I'm going to sell. I think that it's really important to not always just throw everything away, but to get rid of things responsibly. So whether it needs to be donated, whether it needs to be recycled or thrown in the trash can, whether it's something that maybe a friend could really use that you just aren't going to be using it anymore, but if it's in really great condition, you can always post online that you're getting rid of something and see if anyone needs it. And then I also like to sell things, because sometimes I'm getting rid of stuff that is still in great condition and I can make a little bit of money from it, which is really great. And you can just put that into a little rainy day fund or just add it to your savings, which is always great to have a little bit of extra cash coming in. And then last but not least, make sure you have lots of garbage bags on hand, because I can promise you as you go through things, you're just going to find little pieces of trash here and there. And then sometimes I actually keep an extra pile for things that I'm going to keep, so that as I continue going through it, and maybe I go through it again and I'm like, you know, I actually want to keep that. So I do have a pile for keeping. That can also be a pile for things that maybe need to be fixed, that you don't necessarily want to get rid of, but they need a little TLC. So that can be another pile you can make. But it's really helpful to have those different boxes or baskets or bags, so that it just eliminates a lot of the mess. So I really just started out with one basket that I would put everything in. I would take that one basket into every room with me and I would just dump all the stuff in there. And then later on, I went and dumped that basket out on the bed and divided it into donate, sell, give away, fix or keep, or trash. And things like that can really help you declutter in a way that stays organized, creates less mess, because I know how overwhelming it can be when you begin to declutter and then you're decluttering, but then you're also like making a mess. So it's important to try and create these different sections and have some kind of order to your decluttering process. I decided to begin my decluttering process. Looking back, I wish now that I had just started going room by room, because I now have one room that's full of stuff that I need to donate or sell, and it's a little bit overwhelming. But you know, I just wanted to go for it, so I went for it, and that's what happened. But now I'm going to start going room by room, and I will film that process and share that with you guys, really going deep into getting rid of stuff. going back into these rooms, I'm going to be going into these rooms knowing I got rid of a lot of the surface level stuff that I really knew I didn't want anymore. That was really easy for me to part with. For the most part, it was things that I just had been hanging on to for the sake of it, and I knew in the back of my mind it would get donated at some point. But now going back in, I'm really going to be challenging myself in, do I need these items? Because I still have a lot of stuff that I know I don't use, or I just don't find any purpose in it. So now it's going to be a whole new challenge of going back in and really getting deep with myself and being like, do I need this? Because I'm not sure about you guys, but I feel like when I begin a decluttering process or anything like this, I start to discover how much attachment I place on physical things. And I want to work on releasing that attachment and being able to look at something and simply say, you are an object. You don't hold any emotion. You don't hold any part of me. You are simply an object, and being able to detach from that instead of being like, oh, well, this has sentimental meaning and this is sentimental meaning, and at the end of the day never getting rid of anything because I can find an excuse for how it's sentimental. I'm simply trying to remind myself that at the end of the day, these are just physical material things. And you know, like if there was a fire in my house today, what would matter most to me? It would be the people nearest to me, and I would want to make sure we were safe. I honestly wouldn't be trying to grab anything else. I would just be making sure that me and my loved ones were out of the house. And I know that's like a little morbid and a little extreme, but it helped me realize that all of this is just stuff. So I really want to go through and just keep things that do serve a purpose, but that I'm not just hanging on to and stuffing in a drawer simply because I'm scared to maybe let it go. I really want to try and lean into that discomfort and challenge myself in getting rid of things that maybe I just hang on to because I'm scared to part with it for no reason, really. So that's the next step of my minimalist journey. I'm a little nervous for it, but I'm also excited. I feel like it'll be a good challenge, and I feel like I'll be continually doing this process of decluttering and each time doing a bit of a deeper declutter. But if you are new here and if you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the next video where I will be going room by room and doing a very deep declutter. I hope this video was helpful and inspiring to you if you're looking to begin the decluttering process. This is what worked for me, and I hope that you were able to find a system that works for you. If you have any questions, or if you would like me to kind of cover any certain aspect of this journey towards a more intentional, simple, minimal lifestyle, please leave them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really excited to see where the rest of this decluttering process takes me, and I will be sharing a ton more coming very soon. This was just really the very beginning. I didn't exactly know what I was doing. I just kind of jumped headfirst into it. And now I'm going to try and find a bit more order going forward. So looking forward to where this will take me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.